Hello, people, designers and not designers. Today, in this part, we're gonna be talking about research, but I know research sucks, so I'm gonna try and make it fun. All right, got a PowerPoint for you here. Let's connect to the TV. Okay, hi. Uh, let's get moving. So, here we go. I really hope I don't need to record this. Here we have research. I'm gonna try and make it fun. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, hit him with relaxing, quiet music in the background. Now, I really hope I remember to edit music. So, this is what I did for research before. When I say before, I mean like when I was doing the original drawing. 2 pictures, and that was basically it. Little weak, little bad, but it's fine. Mistakes were made, and we will be working on it. So, what are drones like these days? Well, you've got the drones that are like a little plane. That's these. So these are the RQ-7 Shadow or the zipline drones. Or you've got the droney drones. So they have multiple rotors. They're called rotorcopters to some people. So that's like the Prime Air Mark 30, the Meituan, I'm sorry, Meituan drones, or a mix of the two, like the Wingcopter. Isn't that cool? Okay, let's look at the Prime Air Mark 30. So, it uses that's meant to say sensors. It uses sensors and... Oh, no, it is meant to say... It uses tech called Sense and Avoid tech to avoid hitting things by sensing and then avoiding, if that makes sense. And avoid. The propellers are designed to be quieter, so hang on, let me get you up nice and close with this. Look at the propellers. Ooh. Designed to be quieter. That's pretty cool. And also it can use vertical takeoff and landing VTOL, which we talked about last time, to get and then shift into a regular flight. So it'll go from sideways to this orientation. It can carry packages up to 5 pounds, 2.2 kilograms for all the normal people out there. And it can operate in light rain. They touted this as a massive, as a huge achievement. I don't know if it is, I don't know if it isn't. I'm not Amazon. I don't know what they've been through. Now, let's look at what do drones deliver. So they deliver blood and medical samples for doctors and healthcare. Oh, and medicine, supplies and vaccines. Food, like takeaway food, DoorDash. Well, I guess not DoorDash, Deliveroo. Post. This is Postman Pat and his helicopter. Why did a postman have a helicopter? Does that make sense? Like, that's not weird I'm not the only one who finds that weird, right? Whatever. Retail packages. And then supplies for ships. I'm not gonna say yaha. Okay, benefits of drones. Let's see why we love them. So they can fly to places that can't be reached easily or quickly. So these like remote areas, lovely scenery, or maybe not so lovely scenery. It's up to you. They can deliver far quicker. They can often be cheaper, which is good because less fuel. I guess lorries are expensive. They use electric motors, so they're better for the environment to operate, however. This is important and I've got to say it. They do use lithium-ion batteries often, and lithium-ion is often mined under unfortunate circumstances. So yeah, that's something to consider. There are graphene batteries, but that's not really a thing yet. Did I say lithium? No, cobalt in those batteries is mined under unfortunate circumstances in places like the Congo, which is an important thing to consider. They're flexible in their operation, like a little gymnast that can fly, except they're not really like physically flexible because it is machinery. They're precise because they aren't held back by roads. They can just go straight where they need to be and then land. And then they have nice long ranges. They can have long ranges. You know, it's at this point you're probably not going to get like a London to New York drone, but well, I guess you could if you converted a plane, but then that's a lot to talk about and I don't feel like it. Now look, it says the drawbacks of drones, why these things suck. Actually, they don't. Well, they can be expensive, like they can be cheaper, but implementing them can be really expensive. There's infrastructure, training, testing, because most of these are bespoke models. There isn't just like a drone you buy, like there's a plane you can just go buy from Boeing, or probably Airbus, or things are looking. Regulations are still a little bit messy. The FAA is kind of adapting, but doesn't really love them currently, especially not around airports. And that's just in America. Here in the UK, we still have regulations. If you remember the Gatwick Airport drone scare from a few years ago, things are constantly happening. They're difficult to maintain, difficult to manage in adverse weather. As you saw, the big achievement of the Amazon one is that could survive in rain. Not great. Public safety. Crashing is not good. New tech can be less reliable at first because there's still kinks to work out, glitches, bugs, blah blah blah, design flaws. Sensors and cameras, if you're flying it directly into someone's like driveway and you've got like a camera ray streaming to Amazon headquarters, that is a bit of a privacy concern. And don't even get me started with if it was Meta. Oh no, thank you. Operators are still needed. Like you will need operators. Even if it's fully autonomous, you'll need operators for backup. But it is worth considering. Is this a drawback? Like, is there anything wrong with needing operators? We are making jobs. And hacking and stealing. Just straight up hacking the software or stealing the packages. Because a guy can run away from you and shout at you, but a drone, like, it can fly away from you but it can't really shout at you. Now, if you remember the original design, which I'll put up here, it was a blended wing body or a flying wing, depending on how you want to look at it. So we're going to look at that a little bit more. Some of the great things about a blended body are that the entire aircraft generates lift. So it reduces the size of the wing needed and the drag on the entire aircraft. As I repeated, apparently. It's more efficient and can carry more because the body is larger, well, wider. It doesn't look this looks shorter but wider. They're quieter, and I don't know. The issue is that they have concerns with pitch control and lift generated at low speeds. So at low speeds, like takeoff and landing, there are issues with pitch control. However, since I'm looking at a VTOL design, not so much an issue. Flying wings, I'll put a picture of that up. but those have the least drag but are the most unstable. They are very difficult to fly, and once you start to make them a bit fatter, because to put stuff in, then it means you start to lose some of the the lack of drag benefits. Okay, now on to something which will kind of give away my intention. Remote Isles of the British Isles. So, for this, I'm looking at the Shetland Islands. This would also be applicable to the... Actually, let me know. Deliveries from the mainland UK to the Shetland Islands takes a minimum 3 days roughly, which is a long time. There's a ferry, but that takes 12 hours and leaves at 7 p.m, so that's an overnight ferry. And Post flies from Orkney, and Orkney is a city, one of the islands. I'm pretty sure. I don't do geography, but the Post flies from there, and then I guess it will take a boat or ferry to get to finish the whole thing. So that is a long journey, and it uses multiple modes of transport. Obviously, you have to get from the mainland to the very edge, and then fly or whatever. And now here comes the good bit. Not that this entire video wasn't good, it was great, but here comes some of the really interesting stuff. Boom! The final slide, who this is for. So let's look at it together. It's for isles around the British Isles, maximum range of 250 kilometers, and that means it'll be able to do a trip from the coast, from like John O'Groats, although you probably wouldn't be going from John O'Groats, from the coast, very tip of Scotland, to the outer Shetland Islands. I mean, not outer, the Shetland Islands, in one journey. Generally though, I would also want it to be used for like Isle of Wight, Isle of Man runs, maybe even some like runs within the mainland, so like to remote parts of Wales, Scotland, all of that. And there would be for residents on harder to reach areas of the country. It would be a drone to deliver mail, packages and supplies. I've moved away from retail stuff because that feels a bit shallow, and also they've got that down. But this, they don't really have yet. And it would be on a regular basis, so it'd be a fleet, not just one, but a fleet that would fly on a pretty regular basis, possibly multiple times a day. And it would be through point to point as the crow flies flights. So it'd be just, I don't know, if we're talking about Isle of Wight, take off in Southampton, land in Rye or wherever, basically just go straight there. No, go from Southampton, then go to someone's house in Southampton, then fly to the Isle of Wight, go to someone's house. No, just post office or post center, I guess, in in Southampton to post center in Rye or wherever. And then it would exist to keep isolated communities stocked up on things they need. You need mail, although less so these days, but still, you need mail, you need your packages, you need supplies. If a shopkeeper needs Coke, a cola, then you can order it and have it flown over. And that's it. I did a video in one take, and yes, I edited it. Those jump cuts were real, but I did a video in one take. Isn't that impressive now? I'm gonna go edit it now. Thank you for watching. Have a good week, and I will see you next time when I will not be in the country because I'm going on holiday. Bye!